Joining us now, North Carolina Congressman. He's the chairman of the House Freedom Caucus and also Freedom Caucus member, Florida Congressman, full disclosure, who I want to be the next Florida governor. Oh, and Mark Meadows actually shared a cookie with him in a green room in Washington, D.C. Full disclosure. Welcome, both of you, back to the program. Congressman Meadows, let me go back. Are we really going to get 6 months worth of Strzok Page memos, and what percentage of those memos would that be?
Well, I do believe that we'll get those. I can tell you the Department of Justice is working very closely with Chairman Gowdy and Chairman Goodlatte to try to make sure that we get them. But there is a critical gap right now of about 3 critical months of the Page-Strzok memos that we believe will be very enlightening. In fact, some of that, we believe, will put some context to Director Comey's claims that, you know, he was just an innocent bystander in all this. We don't believe that the facts are bearing that out.
Interesting report by Sarah Carter tonight. Do you well, I guess you probably wouldn't be able to answer if you did know, so I won't. I'll spare my time. One of the things that we know, over a year ago, the State Department was supposed to hand over some 72,000 Clinton emails, Congressman DeSantis. We're still waiting for those emails. Do we know if that's part of the deleted emails? And is there any knowledge of if those 33,000 emails were ever recovered that we know that she tried to acid wash and destroy?
Well, that's the thing, Sean. You almost always can find the email somewhere, and yet in this case, there was the FBI's judgment that, hey, these 30,000 emails, we just can't find them. Now, in the Judicial Watch litigation for FOIA, you know, they've identified the backup server by Datto Inc. as potentially having those. The FBI never searched that. I asked Christopher Wray whether they did. You know, he could not confirm that they did. So we need to look at all the possible areas where those emails were, because when you have emails subpoenaed, you don't just turn over the ones that you want to turn over and then acid wash the rest. That's not the way it works. I think there were a lot of work-related emails that they deleted. There may have been emails related to the foundation and other things that are of interest to Congress. So we've got to find them if they're out there. Congressman
Meadows, if you look at the original, in the exoneration of Comey and Strzok, and Strzok eventually interviewed Hillary, and then the original exoneration written months before the investigation, or the interview of Hillary and 17 other people, they had said, and it had been reported, that 5 foreign agencies had hacked into Hillary's server in the mom-and-pop shop bathroom closet. Okay, so here's my question. That means they exist. You know, WikiLeaks is a separate issue. They've always said it's not Russia. But if James Comey's original piece said these entities had hacked into it, that means other countries likely have them. So wouldn't it mean we'd be able to recover those emails? Because I don't believe there's 33,000 emails about any one wedding, funeral, or yoga that exists on this planet.
Well, you don't believe that. I don't believe that. And more importantly, the American people, Sean, don't believe that, because as we look at 30,000 emails, getting rid of those, you know, isn't it interesting that there may be more foreign governments with Hillary Clinton emails than Congress or those who are going after it? You know, I just find it just inexcusable. And so as we look at this, the bigger picture really right now is, are we going to get to the bottom of it? I can tell you that the people I have the privilege of serving said it's about time that we get to the bottom of it, and I think that the coming days will provide a lot of fruit.
It's amazing how everything has backfired and is boomeranging. Both of you have done a phenomenal job. The American people deserve to get the truth on emails about fixed investigations, about FISA abuses, about Hillary paying for a dossier full of Russian lies. We need to get to the bottom of all of it.